welcome back.
Thanks, buddy.
It was touch and go there for a while. We were worried.
It's still touch and go. Jason Bands, ladies and gentlemen. Singing sounds. That's I love that song.
Yeah, me too.
That's a good tune.
The question that preceded that song was, what song do you wish you had written?
Well, you could probably pick any of Isabel's songs and go, yeah, I'll take any of those. He's quite the lyricist.
Agreed.
You want to put that down somewhere? Or are you just going to hang on to it awkwardly? Yeah. Now things are getting worse. This is Roma. How's it going, man?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, really good.
What's
I told a secret of ours.
Great. What?
Well, I've been asked.
This is new.
I know I don't like it.
Ooh.
It's not good. I tried to block it out.
Is that what I look like?
Only when you're looking at that. You can only see it by giving the worst angle of your face.
That's true. Because if you look, oh no, there's another angle.
But you can look up here and be like, oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, it's the same. Let's not do that again. What secrets are we telling? Do tell.
They said, tell me about a time that you saw Jensen do something illegal. And I was like, I have so many stories. Where do I start? It was a whole panel, beginning to end. So the cops might be waiting for you when you get back to Austin. No, I'm kidding.
What was
She asked what my favorite memory was. I said it's tough to decide, but my favorite current memory, and it continues, is Father Friday. Since our daughters were born at the same time.
Yeah, 9 years running.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Every Friday for 9 years.
Yeah. That's true.
And you can just like scroll up and see everyone shrink.
That's it. Yeah, all the children just get smaller and smaller and smaller. That's pretty cool. I also like the Sea Island, riding the largest horse I've ever seen in my life, and I'm like, they gave it to me, not this guy. I don't understand that. They should have given it to you.
The other horse was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I get that one? That's not fair.
I think there was an audible groan when he got on it.
This is a true story. I went to visit a buddy that has a horse farm, and I'm not much of a horse rider. I know that may shock everyone in the room. But he was like, oh, well, you haven't ridden in a while. We'll give you this one. It's like the most broken-in trail horse ever.
Old nag.
He's like, this one's the one we put the kids on or whatever. And I got on it, and it gave the most pathetic buck you've ever seen. It was just like, no, I don't want it.
Get him off.
That's what happened.
Did you fall off?
No, because it was very old.
It gave up.
Yeah, it was like,
all right, fair, fine. This is my life.
Yeah. No, but Sea Island.
That was fun.
Yeah. We went a little vacay and we did some horse riding.
That's it. Yeah. Well, get out of here.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like,
yeah, you don't have to stay up here and babysit me. I can take care of myself.
You made me.
What?
I was like, I'm gone. You were like, no, stay.
No, stay. Stick around.
Get out of here.
Okay, now get out of here. Time is up.
Good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you're here.
All right, pal. Jensen, ladies and gentlemen. All right. How is everybody doing on this Saturday? So, what is it? I don't know what day it is.
Saturday.
I don't know what time it is.
11.
Here it might be, but where this is, I don't know what time it is. I think I was 8 hours 8 hours behind from where I flew. And so, anyway, so what time would it be my time?
3 a.m.
3 a.m.? That sounds right. That feels right. Yeah. And I filmed until 3 a.m. the day before. So, yeah, Oh, what? I thought it would slow down when Supernatural was over. It has not. It's gotten worse. Yeah, I was in a different country 4 days ago doing another project. And then, yeah, I don't know where or what that was. And then I was working in New Mexico, which is where we're currently shooting the 3rd season of Big Sky. Excuse me, what? Is that so you can heckle me from backstage? Is that? Okay. And then a couple weeks before that, I was in another country doing a movie. Anyway, we're here, and we're
awake.
We're gonna do this. What?
What movie?
I don't know. I literally wake up every day and I go, where am I going? And luckily there are people to help me with that question. Usually through COVID it was just my wife. What am I doing today? And then I'd have a list. So I guess I'm just used to having that kind of structure in my life where I just basically like a blind, deaf donkey lost in the desert and just in need of direction constantly. Let's take some questions. Yeah, okay. That's the loudest radio. Okay. Is the president here? Is that? Okay. We'll start over here. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm wondering, are there any news about the 3rd Radio Company album? And thanks. Of the release, and maybe you're planning some live gigs or stage shows after the release?
What was his best?
Yeah, because things have been pretty slow for me, so I need to, Steve and I had a whole album that's basically done. We wrote it, and Steve has been producing all of the music, and it's basically ready to go. I just have to get in and do my part, and I haven't been home in over 2 months. It's okay, I've seen the kids, they come and visited me, and I've met them in other places and stuff, but I haven't actually been home to Austin in over 2 months, which is fun when you pack a carry-on to leave for a week, and then in that week, my wife calls and says, it's hot here, we're gonna go somewhere not so hot, meet us there, and I go, great. And then I just never went back home. So I told Danielle, I was like, hey, you maybe have a t-shirt waiting for me when I get to Rome? Because I've been living out of a carry-on suitcase for 2 months now. But hey, I can do that. So yeah, to answer your question, we're very close with a 3rd album. It's a bit of a departure from Volume 1, Volume 2. This will not be Volume 3. This will be something a little different. And I just gotta get there and actually do it. And Steve and I are talking about doing a show at some point in the near future. We just gotta lock those details down. As soon as we do, you will know. It'll be a live show. It won't be like that. But I mean, I guess if it's a live show, you can still broadcast those, right?
Yeah.
See, I don't know. They just tell me here's a guitar on the stage, go. But yeah, hopefully we'll have something for you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
And thanks for being here. Yeah, well, to be decided. Hi.
Hi, here I am. Good morning.
There you are. Good morning.
Sorry for my English, first thing.
It's better than mine, actually.
Okay, so my question is, we have learned since the beginning of Supernatural that you had several discussions regarding Misha's final scene in the show, and I would like to know how you were first pitched this scene.
About Castiel's
Yes.
death scene.
Yes.
I honestly didn't have a lot. There weren't a lot of discussions about it with me. I know that Misha talked about it with the writers and the producers and stuff. I really just spoke about it with Misha, and we had some discussions about how really just kind of how we wanted that to go, the tone of it. You know, he made. I had no influence over him on what he, on what he wanted to do. He made his own decisions. And then I just made my decision. And this is, I think, what has really worked for us. It worked for us for 15 years was, you know, I never told Jared what decisions he should make as Sam or what Sam should be doing. And I never told Misha what I thought Cass should be doing. Or any, like, we all made our decisions for our characters, and a lot of that was based off of what the other characters were doing, and I think that's why it was such a great marriage of all these characters, is because, and not just characters but the actors portraying them, because I trusted Jared to make really fantastic decisions. I trusted Misha to make fantastic decisions, and that only enabled me to make what I, in my opinion, were good choices for Dean. That being said, with that particular scene, I just tried to give Misha his space to do what he needed to do as Cass, and I think he did an amazing job. And it was hard for me, yeah. And it's one of those scenes that was like, it's difficult as an actor to be in those really intense scenes with somebody who's just doing a fantastic performance and stay in the scene and stop and not become just an audience member. Because there's a certain time when cameras were on Misha, I started forgetting that I was in the scene as Dean, and I was just watching this great performance as Jensen, going like, wow, he's doing really good. This is, oh shit, out of line. What's my line? Yeah, so I was very happy with how that turned out for him, and I think he was very happy as well. I just remember seeing a lot of crew people standing around, passing a tissue box because it was very sad. And then they had to do that all over again with the barn scene. So that's a true test of if you're doing the right thing, is you look around the faces of your crew who've seen you do any and everything for years and years, and if you're affecting them that much, then, you know, I think we're onto something and we can actually affect an audience. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're telling emotional stories that affect people.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Hi.
Hello. I was wondering, when working as a director, you work with a lot of creatives, and I'm planning to become a director in the animation field. I actually just got into Vancouver Film School, so now I live in Vancouver.
Congratulations.
So I was wondering if you have any advice working with people who are maybe not quite getting your vision, and how do you communicate your ideas clearly, because obviously there's a lot of creative people in that field.
So, great question. Congratulations. Good luck to you. So, as a director, yes, you are. I like to say you're the captain of the problem-solving squad. The script is a problem, and it's up to you to figure out how to solve it. But what you need to also keep in mind is that all of the other heads of departments or other people working on, whether they're film technicians or whether they're actors or cast, crew, whatever it is, they are all there to not only be used as tools for you to create your vision, but they're also there to be collaborative. And I think as a director, if you have a clear idea and you can say, this is what I'm looking for, then it helps everybody else facilitate that idea. If you run into actors who have a different idea about something, then you have to be available and open to allow that creative or that collaboration to happen. And a lot of times, they can bring things to the table that you may not have thought of. If you were closed off to that, then you're gonna miss out on happy accidents all the time. So I would say my biggest, given there's a lot of advice that I've gotten through the years that I could certainly pass on to you, but that's a much longer conversation. But it is be available for the additional creative that your cast and crew can bring you, but also have a clear-cut idea of what and why. It's like drawing a map. It's like, make the map, know how you want to get from A to B, but understand that there's a few different ways to get there. And don't block yourself off from getting there, because you might just get stuck in a traffic jam. Uh-oh, I can't hear you. There we go. There we go.
Sa. Okay. So I wanted to know how was it to work again with Eric Kripke after 10 years?
It was like we never stopped working together. Kripke is he is an incredible talent. He builds worlds that are just so uniquely him. But I would say mostly it was just really fun saying his dialogue. He is, not necessarily, Soulja Boy, yeah. Some colorful words. Just how he writes, how he shapes characters, how he shapes relationships, and character development is just so rich and textured and layered that I knew coming into it that it wasn't just going to be a one-note kind of character. It wasn't going to be a one-trick pony. That this guy was going to be complex, and he just does such an amazing job of writing rich, complex characters in an outrageous world. And so I was excited, A, to just work with my friend again, but B, to be in this new world that he's running and creating, and it was a lot of fun. I had a really good time traveling around the world, promoting The Boys a few months ago when season 3 came out, and he and I got to sit and chat a lot, not just about The Boys, but about Supernatural and about the past nearly 20 years and what that's looked like for us. And I consider myself very fortunate to have somebody as a friend as talented and as genuine as Kripke is. Yeah. Hey.
How are you?
Fantastic.
I want to thank you for being here, first of all, because it means a lot to everybody. And I
wasn't going to let you down.
Thank you.
I was, until I realized that I didn't have to, and then I wasn't going to let you down.
Well, we're very lucky to be here again.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about your new show, Big Sky, and just what got you interested in the role and what we can expect from Sheriff Bo Arlen.
Bo Arlen, that's it. So, I mean, do you want the real story, or do you want the?
That's why we're here.
Do you? No, this is no secret. I shot The Boys last year, and we finished that in September, so almost a year ago. I was done with that, and it was only I was only signed on to do one season of The Boys. The door was clearly left open, and there have been numerous conversations about what the future of Soldier Boy is. So even though I was only signed to do one season, he may or may not be. He may be coming back at some point. It's really a question of when, not a question of if, I think, at this point. And they're still trying to figure that out. That being said, there was no promise of him coming back, and I certainly knew that it wasn't going to be right in the beginning of season 4, or maybe not in season 4 at all. I didn't know. And so we finished that, and I came home, and then I went and did a movie, Rust, which was an amazing experience up until it wasn't. And then it was basically the end of the year, and I have, for the past 15 years, always gone back to set in the new year. And the holidays came and went. New Year's Eve happened, New Year's Day happened, and then all of a sudden I realized that I don't have a job. This feels bizarre. Now, most people might be like, you've earned it, good job, enjoy yourself, enjoy that time off. Not me. I panicked. I was like, oh my God, I need a job so bad. What am I doing? So I got on the phone with my agent and I said, who's hiring? Get out the classifieds immediately. And so I had a phone conversation with ABC, the network ABC, and they call them general. It's just a general meeting. Just, hey, what are you interested in doing? What are you guys? They're asking me, what are you interested in? I'm asking them. Maybe this, and this. What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Is there a new project that I might be right for? Is there a current project that's happening that I might be right for? And one of the executives over there, Stephanie, who I've known for many, many years, she was like, you know who I think you really enjoy is one of our showrunners, Elwood Reed, who runs Big Sky. And I said, oh yeah, I've heard of that show. I was like, you guys are in your second season or something. They're like, yeah. They're like, why don't you have a conversation with him? I'm like, great, sounds good. You know, it doesn't hurt to just talk to somebody, make a new friend. So Elwood and I got on the phone together, and we hit it off. And he said, I'd love to bring you in, shake stuff up, see what you can do. And I said, what do you have in mind? And so he said, well, let me think about it, and I'll send you what my thoughts are. So, I don't know, 2 weeks went by, and I got an email from him, and it was a breakdown of this new character, Bo. And I was like, oh, he just wrote this for me. That's what he did. And I was like, yeah, this sounds like fun. And that was it. I was like, yeah, this sounds like fun. I can come in and do some crazy stuff and shake stuff up. And I watched the show a little bit, and I was like, okay, what might they be missing from the story, from the characters? And I thought that Bo brought some levity to the show, which I enjoyed. And so that was that. And I signed on for one season, and we'll see where that goes. But I've got a few more months on that, and then I'll be done. And it's fun. It's, you know, people would ask, like, what's it like coming on to a show that's already going after being the lead of a show, or at least co-lead of a show for 15 years? Like, and I said, well, it's it was my dinner party for 15 years, or Jared and I's dinner party for 15 years, and now I'm going to somebody else's house, and I'm having fun at their party. And it's kind of fun. Now look, there's different faces, and with that is different, personalities, and with that is different drama, and different friendships, and different jokes. But I will say that all of my old stuff from Supernatural is all new now. That's really what it is I just get to use all my dated material to a new audience, and they're loving it. So yeah, I got to do it with the boys, and now with Big Sky. I'm like the season 3. I don't know what you call it.
Go-to guy.
Yeah, the season 3 go-to guest. Yeah, like let's invite him for dinner. He seems like he's not a total jerk. Little did they know. So that's what's happening, and I'm having fun doing that. And I've got some things cooking about what will be next, and hopefully we'll have news to share with you on what's next for this guy, because clearly I can't stop.
Thank you. Can't wait.
Thanks.
Hello, Jensen.
Hello.
This may surprise you, but a lot of us in here are huge fans of The Boys.
Who's seen The Boys season 3? Who's never even heard of The Boys? All right. They're like, what is this? Is this like a cartoon show? Yeah, it's a cartoon show. Yeah, there are cartoons. Yeah, think like Saturday morning children's programming. I'm kidding, don't let your children watch it. Unless you're that parent, which, cool. Okay.
So, Soldier Boy's a pretty messed up character.
What are you talking about? He's totally fine. Everybody else is messed up. He's the one stable person. Okay, there's a little Soldier Boy in me, clearly. I need to still get rid of.
Even if he's not a very pleasant person, you manage to portray him in a way that he seems almost likable sometimes. Or we can my question is it for you, is it more fun or more interesting to play a flawed hero like King Winchester, who's always the hero, or a messed up white asshole like
So I would say it is equally as, I don't know about equally. I think if I had to choose, I would play Dean. Because inherently at the end of the day, he is a good guy. I think Soldier Boy is a good guy in his mind. And was probably a good guy at some point, but due to the world that he lived in, and due to the role that he was asked to play, and that he accepted and brought on and embodied, and due to all his childhood trauma and all, it turned him into a very, very flawed character. But again, a character in his mind that was doing the right thing, and that's what I think was such a rich part about that character, is that he's not a bad guy. He's the guy that's looking at everybody else going like, you're all messed up. And I think that was a really interesting dynamic for him, and something that I really enjoyed playing, because I think that there are certainly people that in this world that exist like that are blind to social development. To learning how, people, society changes. And when you're stuck in your ways, that can be a big detriment to your development as a human. And I know people like that. I'm sure you know people like that just are like, no, I'm not changing. This is who I am, and I'm right, and they're wrong, and that's it. And I think that there's been a lot of social, not experiments, but social things that have happened in the past, just 5 to 10 years that have really challenged people in what they think right and wrong or normal is. And I feel like for me personally, you always want to evolve. You always want to learn. Not just about other people, but about yourself. And I think that's how we all get to grow and be better as a society. But there are some people who are just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it, and everybody else can just, as Soldier Boy would say, fuck off.
As Jensen would say.
And so it was fun. But it was challenging in a fulfilling way to play that character in a world that didn't accept him. If Soldier Boy actually existed today, he'd be canceled like that, right? But in his mind, he'd be like, oh yeah, well you're canceled, all of you. And I think that was the finding that voice and finding that tone for him was a lot of fun to do in a world like that. And so even though in his mind he is the hero of his own story, he is inherently a good guy by his standards, he is a heavily flawed character by, I think, the society standards. I think Dean he's a hero in both worlds. He might be rough around the edges, and he might be, a flawed guy to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, I think he and society both can agree that he's a good guy with a good heart and a good compass, and is doing the good fight. So yeah, it's definitely two different characters in two different worlds, but I certainly enjoy playing them both.
Thank you again for being here.
Thanks.
So my question is, if Dean and Soldier Boy were to meet, how would they feel about each other? Would they bond over maybe Rio Speedwagon, as we have both discovered that they love a certain song? Or would they hate each other or something? What do you think?
Oh, I think they would probably bond immediately. And then Dean would realize that he's just a complete toxic asshole, and would be like, I can't hang out with you anymore, man. You're gonna get me in trouble. I think that's that would be an interesting kind of social experiment to see what these two do on a road trip together.
Would he be allowed on the Impala?
Would it be what?
Would he be allowed on the Impala?
Yeah, as long as he didn't get his heartburn, I think would be. Well, he didn't blow the thing up, I think would be fine. Although Soldier Boy would probably want to pick the music, so there might be a problem there. Might be a problem. I think Dean would probably, at the end of the day, say, "Well, now I'm going to have to kick your ass," and then Dean would get destroyed. That's how that would go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, Dean.
I just want to reiterate thank you for the Herculean effort you made to get here today. And I just have a question for no good reason. Have you ever heard of the apples-ass equation?
Eccles ass equation?
Yes.
No.
So in the depths of the...
And here we go.
There are some incredibly smart humans who are also SPM fans, your fans, who have worked out the equation of the curvature of your ass. And you're welcome.
That's a thing?
Yes.
You can do that?
Yes.
From like one frame of television?
Yes. And it wasn't Soldier Boy. It was
Okay. What? Okay. Do I want to know?
I couldn't tell you what the actual equation
Oh, what the equation, or
No,
what the answer
that's
is, or what
far,
the...
far too above my head.
But it's, I mean, I assume it's probably an equation used for lots of celebrity people, whoever.
It's got some name.
What's that?
It's a sine wave.
It's a sine wave?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's math.
Okay, well, I apologize for anybody who spent time putting effort into that. That sounds like your time could have been spent somewhere else. Much more constructive and maybe much more fulfilling. I don't know. I apologize for the probably depressing equation that came out of that. I'm going to stop talking. Thank you for that. I can't get that out of my head now. On that note, I will say that I was with Kripke recently, and he was telling me about some stuff that's coming up for season 4, and one of those things was that he had to get a picture of somebody's butt, and you can't just pull it off the internet, you know. Somebody would be like, hey, that's mine, and then they want money for it. So you have to actually hire somebody just for a photo, and so they did, and I think it was like, the person was like, okay, we can get, do you want a male or female? He's like, male. And I'm like, he's like, it's funnier. I'm like, okay, it's like, let's see. And now I can't get that out of my head because it wasn't a glamorous shot of said butt. Anyway, let's move on from the whole. We don't need to talk about that stuff anymore. How you doing, man?
Hi. Next week I turn 15. And is there any kind of advice that you could give yourself when you were 15?
At age 15?
Yeah.
You're 15?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of advice are you looking for? You want like life advice? You want like profession advice? You want girl advice? You want boy advice? What do you want?
Life advice.
Life advice. Life is like a box of, no. It works. It works. You know what? Here's something that I've said, and it can apply to a lot of things. It can apply to, I say it to actors on set, but it can also relate to life in general. Is that we don't have to do this. We get to do this. This is a life that we get to have, and we don't deserve it. So spend every day earning it. Okay. All right, that's it. On that note, I'm out. Smoke bomb. Smoke. We'll work on that. That's fine. Oh. Yeah. Peach Collins, ladies and gentlemen.